Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Emily, and I'm about to marry the love of my life, Michael. We've spent months planning every detail of our dream wedding, from the elegant venue adorned with twinkling lights to the delicate lace on my wedding dress. Everything was carefully chosen to create a magical atmosphere for our special day. As the day of our wedding drew near, we decided to gather our closest friends for a night of celebration. We wanted to share our excitement and gratitude for their support throughout our journey together. The anticipation buzzed in the air as we prepared for the evening ahead. The living room transformed into a cozy gathering space, with soft music playing in the background and the scent of freshly lit candles wafting through the air. Laughter and joy filled the room as our friends arrived, their smiles reflecting the happiness we felt in our hearts. Amidst the crowd, Michael and I stood side by side, our hands entwined as we greeted our guests. The room was alive with conversations and the clinking of glasses as everyone raised a toast to our love and future happiness. Amelia, my best friend since childhood, came up to me, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Emily, can you believe this is finally happening? You and Michael are going to have the most amazing wedding. I'm so happy for you." I smiled at Amelia, grateful for her unwavering support. "Thank you, Amelia. It means the world to have you by my side throughout this journey. I couldn't imagine this day without you here." As the night wore on, the atmosphere became more vibrant and energetic. Stories were shared, memories were relived, and the room echoed with laughter. It was a beautiful celebration of love and friendship, reminding me of the incredible people who filled our lives. I couldn't help but steal glances at Michael, his eyes filled with adoration as he mingled with our friends. We had come so far together, overcoming challenges and cherishing every milestone. This night was a testament to the love we had built and the future we were about to embark upon. Suddenly, the room erupted into cheers as someone proposed a toast to our everlasting love. Glasses clinked together, and the sound reverberated through the room, a harmonious symphony of happiness. As the night progressed, the excitement and merriment grew. The room was filled with warmth and love, creating an enchanting atmosphere that whispered promises of the beautiful days to come. Little did I know that amidst the joy and celebration, a storm was brewing. Unbeknownst to me, fate had a different plan for this night, one that would shatter my heart and change the course of my life forever. But for now, we reveled in the love and joy that enveloped us, basking in the beginning of our forever. The air was filled with anticipation as our friends gathered in our home, ready to celebrate the impending union of Michael and me. The living room had been transformed into a vibrant space, adorned with twinkling fairy lights and delicate floral arrangements that exuded a sense of romance. Laughter and animated conversations filled the room as our guests mingled, their joyful energy creating an atmosphere that was both infectious and heartwarming. The clinking of glasses resonated through the air as toasts were raised, celebrating love, friendship, and the beautiful future that awaited us. I found myself in the midst of it all, my heart brimming with gratitude for the incredible people who had been a part of our journey. Amelia, my best friend, approached me with a mischievous grin. "Emily, I have a feeling this is going to be a night to remember," she said, raising her glass. "To love, laughter, and a happily ever after." We clinked our glasses together, the sound harmonizing with the collective cheer that filled the room. The warmth in Amelia's eyes mirrored the love and excitement I felt within. As the night progressed, the energy escalated. The music played a lively tune, prompting some guests to sway and dance, while others engaged in animated conversations. The house seemed to pulsate with joy, every corner filled with laughter and camaraderie. Michael, the center of attention, moved effortlessly among our friends, his charisma captivating everyone he encountered. He would catch my eye from time to time, a loving smile gracing his lips, reaffirming the depth of our connection. I caught up with Sarah, my sister, who had flown in from out of town to be a part of this special occasion. She hugged me tightly and whispered, "Emily, you deserve all the happiness in the world. Michael is truly a gem, and I can't wait to officially welcome him into our family." Her words touched my heart, and I embraced her, grateful for her presence on this significant night. "Thank you, Sarah. Having you here means everything to me. Let's make this a night to remember." As the evening wore on, the drinks flowed freely, adding an extra layer of merriment to the festivities. The room seemed to glow with the shared excitement and anticipation of the wedding day. In the corner of the room, Michael's best friend Mark approached me with a mischievous grin. "Emily, I hope you're ready for a night of unforgettable memories. We have some surprises up our sleeves to ensure this celebration is truly epic." I chuckled, curious about what Mark had planned. "Oh, Mark, you always manage to keep things interesting. I can't wait to see what you have in store for us." With a wink, Mark disappeared into the crowd, leaving me intrigued and eager for the surprises that lay ahead. The night continued to unfold, each moment etching itself into my memory, weaving a tapestry of love, friendship, and unbridled joy. Little did I know that amidst the laughter and cheer, a storm was brewing, one that would test the bonds of trust and resilience. But in this moment, surrounded by the warmth and love of our closest friends, I allowed myself to revel in the magic of the night. The night of celebration was in full swing, with laughter and music filling the air, but little did I know that beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. As the hours ticked by, a sense of unease began to creep into my heart. I noticed Michael and my sister, Sarah, becoming increasingly engrossed in conversation. They were huddled together in a corner, their voices hushed, their body language secretive. A pang of concern shot through me, but I tried to dismiss it as mere paranoia. But as the night wore on, my worry intensified. A nagging feeling gnawed at the back of my mind, and I couldn't shake the thought that something wasn't right. I decided to search for Michael and Sarah, hoping to alleviate my growing anxiety. Room by room, I ventured, my footsteps muted by the festive sounds echoing through the house. I called out their names, my voice tinged with concern, but received no response. Panic started to well up within me, and I quickened my pace, determined to find them. Finally, I reached the last room, a dimly lit study tucked away at the end of the hallway. I hesitated for a moment, my hand trembling as it reached for the doorknob. With a deep breath, I turned it and entered the room, hoping to find Michael and Sarah engaged in innocent conversation. Instead, the room stood empty, devoid of any signs of life. A sinking feeling settled in the pit of my stomach, and I rushed back into the hallway, desperately searching for any trace of them. Fear gripped me as I called their names, my voice trembling with a mixture of anxiety and confusion. But the house remained silent, echoing only my own pleas for their presence. A sense of dread washed over me, the walls closing in as I grappled with the realization that something was terribly wrong. Heart pounding, I made my way back to the main gathering, my footsteps heavy with apprehension. As I entered the room, I scanned the faces of our friends, searching for any signs of knowledge or concern. Their smiles and laughter seemed oblivious to the turmoil that churned within me. Amelia, sensing my distress, approached me with furrowed brows. "Emily, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." Tears welled up in my eyes as I whispered, "Amelia, have you seen Michael and Sarah? I've searched everywhere, but I can't find them." Amelia's expression turned serious as she surveyed the room. "No, I haven't seen them. But let's not jump to conclusions just yet. They might have stepped out for some fresh air or taken a break somewhere. I'm sure they'll be back soon." Her words offered a glimmer of hope, but deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that something more sinister had taken place. The weight of the unknown bore down on me, and I knew I had to find answers. As the night pressed on, I continued my frantic search, questioning every guest, calling Michael's and Sarah's names over and over again. But my efforts were met with shrugs and puzzled expressions, as no one seemed to know their whereabouts. Desperation consumed me as I contemplated the possibilities, my mind swirling with thoughts of betrayal and deceit. I longed for the comfort and reassurance that Michael's presence always brought, but in that moment he had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only unanswered questions. In the aftermath of Michael's and Sarah's disappearance, I was consumed by a whirlwind of emotions: fear, confusion, and a growing sense of betrayal. Determined to uncover the truth, I steeled myself for what I might discover. As I stood in the dimly lit hallway, my mind raced with possibilities. Where could they have gone? And why had they vanished without a trace? Clenching my fists, I fought against the rising tide of panic and made my way outside, hoping that the cool night air would clear my head. Stepping onto the porch, I took a deep breath, trying to steady my racing heart. The night was eerily quiet, save for the distant sounds of music and laughter that drifted from the house. Suddenly, a noise caught my attention, a faint rustling coming from the direction of Michael's car. Curiosity and trepidation intertwined within me as I approached the vehicle cautiously. As I drew nearer, the sound grew louder, mingled with whispers and hushed voices. Confusion turned to disbelief, and my breath caught in my throat as I glimpsed through the car window. There, in the dimly lit interior, I saw Michael and Sarah, their bodies entwined in a way that shattered the illusion of their innocence. Shockwaves rippled through me, each revelation crashing against the walls of my trust, leaving only ruins in its wake. Unable to tear my gaze away, a mix of anger and heartbreak surged within me. I fought back tears as I flung open the car door, the weight of the truth bearing down upon me. "What is going on? How could you both betray me like this?" I cried out, my voice laced with pain and disbelief. Michael and Sarah stumbled out of the car, their expressions shifting from surprise to defensive anger. Sarah's eyes flickered with guilt, but Michael's face hardened, his voice tinged with a bitterness I had never heard before. "Emily, it's not what you think," he spat out, his words a feeble attempt to salvage his shattered image. "There's nothing between us. It was a mistake, a moment of weakness." Fury ignited within me as I stared at the two people who had played a part in tearing my world apart. "A mistake, a moment of weakness. Don't insult me with your hollow excuses," I retorted, my voice trembling with a mixture of hurt and righteous anger. Sarah's voice wavered as she tried to interject. "Emily, please, let us explain." But her words fell on deaf ears. The pain that surged through my veins drowned out any willingness to listen to their justifications. I had been betrayed, deceived by those closest to me. Unable to bear their presence any longer, I took a step back, my voice laced with determination. "You know what? I deserve better than this. I deserve better than this. I deserve someone who would never break my trust in such a way." Michael's eyes narrowed, a hint of remorse flickering within them, but it was too little, too late. With a sudden burst of fury, he raised his hand and struck me across the cheek, a physical manifestation of his disregard and disrespect. As he sped away, leaving me standing there, the sting of his betrayal lingering on my skin, I felt a mix of emotions, pain, anger, and a fierce resolve to rise above the wreckage of this shattered love. The sting of Michael's slap lingered on my cheek, a painful reminder of the depth of his betrayal. But amidst the throbbing ache, a newfound strength surged within me. I refused to let his actions define me or break my spirit. It was time to confront him and reclaim my dignity. With a determined stride, I entered the house, the weight of the situation bearing down on my shoulders. The once joyous atmosphere had transformed into a somber haze as whispers of the events that had unfolded circulated among our bewildered friends. As I walked through the sea of concerned faces, their sympathetic gazes met mine. Amelia, ever the pillar of support, approached me with a mixture of concern and determination. "Emily, are you okay?" "What happened out there?" Tears threatened to spill from my eyes, but I held them back, refusing to let them see my vulnerability. "Amelia, Michael, and Sarah, they betrayed me. They were together in his car. I can't believe this is happening." Amelia's eyes widened, her voice filled with outrage. "Oh, Emily, I'm so sorry. You do deserve so much better than this. Let's find Michael and make him answer for what he's done." Together, we embarked on a search through the house, determined to find Michael and confront him with the weight of his actions. Each step I took resonated with a newfound resolve, a fire burning within me. I would not let him escape the consequences of his betrayal. Finally, we found him in the backyard, his face etched with a mixture of guilt and defiance. Sarah stood beside him, her eyes downcast, aware of the role she had played in this destructive web of deceit. I approached them, my voice steady but laced with emotion. "Michael, how could you do this? We were supposed to spend our lives together, build a future based on trust and love. But you threw it all away for a momentary indiscretion." Michael's eyes flickered with a hint of remorse, but it was overshadowed by his stubborn pride. "Emily, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, but it doesn't change the fact that I've fallen out of love with you." His words struck me like a dagger to the heart, the pain reverberating through every fiber of my being. But I refused to let it break me. With unwavering determination, I met his gaze and spoke, my voice filled with a quiet strength. "Michael, love is not a fleeting emotion that can be discarded at will. It's a commitment, a choice we make every day, and you made the choice to betray me. I refuse to be with someone who has so little regard for my heart." The weight of my words settled in the air, their impact sinking into Michael's consciousness. For a moment, he seemed to understand the magnitude of his actions, the gravity of the loss he was inflicting upon himself. But just as quickly, his face hardened, his pride resurfacing. "Fine, Emily. If that's how you want it, then we're done. But you'll regret walking away from me." A bittersweet smile curved my lips as I replied, my voice laced with newfound resilience. "No, Michael. I won't regret it. I deserve someone who will cherish and respect me, and that person is not you." With those final words, I turned away, leaving Michael and Sarah behind, their faces etched with a mix of regret and resignation. I walked away from the wreckage of our relationship, determined to rebuild my life on my own terms. In the aftermath of the confrontation, a mix of emotions swirled within me: anger, hurt, and a burning desire for justice. I had severed ties with Michael, but the pain of his betrayal still lingered, fueling a growing determination for revenge. Days turned into weeks, and as I navigated the turbulent waters of healing, a sinister plan took shape in the recesses of my mind. It was time to retaliate, to make Michael and Sarah understand the magnitude of their actions. Armed with a mischievous glint in my eyes, I set my plan in motion. I gathered my belongings from the home we once shared, ensuring that I left no trace of my presence behind. But before bidding farewell to that place, I meticulously executed the first act of retribution. A devious smile played on my lips as I carefully placed the leftover fish, remnants of a meal we had shared, within the curtain rods of every room. It was a subtle act, hidden from plain sight, but its pungent odor would soon permeate every inch of their newfound sanctuary. With a final glance at the house, now filled with an invisible stench of betrayal, I took a deep breath and walked away, knowing that my revenge had only just begun. Days turned into weeks, and rumors of the foul odor in Michael's and Sarah's home spread like wildfire among our mutual acquaintances. The scent proved unrelenting, defying their attempts to eradicate it. It clung to the walls, the furniture, and their very existence, a reminder of the havoc they had wrought. Desperation soon set in, and the couple sought the aid of professional cleaning companies, hoping to banish the putrid smell that had invaded their lives. But even the experts were left baffled, their efforts futile against the invisible stench that haunted the halls. Finally, defeated by the pervasive odor, Michael made a decision that would seal his fate. He chose to sell the house, hoping that a change of residence would bring respite from the ever-present reminder of his betrayal. As fate would have it, news of the sale reached my ears, igniting a sense of anticipation within me. With a shrewdness born from pain, I seized the opportunity that presented itself. I would become the new owner of that house, symbolically reclaiming the space that had been tainted by deceit. The day of the sale arrived, and I stood there, my heart pounding with a mix of satisfaction and triumph. As the bidding commenced, I knew I had to secure the house at any cost. With each increment, my determination grew, until finally the gavel struck, sealing the deal. The house was mine. A mixture of disbelief and shock washed over Michael and Sarah's faces as they realized the turn of events. Their sanctuary had become mine, a twisted manifestation of the power shift that had taken place. With a satisfied smile, I watched as they packed their belongings, their lives upturned by the very scent of betrayal they had once inflicted upon me. Their plans shattered, their hearts heavy with regret, they retreated from the house that would forever bear the marks of their transgressions. As they drove away, their eyes met mine, a fleeting moment of recognition and remorse. But it was too late. My revenge had been exacted, and I reveled in the sweet taste of justice. The day had arrived when the house officially belonged to me, a sanctuary reclaimed from the clutches of betrayal. I stood in the doorway, a smile playing on my lips as I watched Michael and Sarah gather their remaining belongings, their faces etched with a mix of resignation and regret. As they packed their boxes, I couldn't help but revel in the sight of their dismantled lives. The house that once held the promise of their future together now served as a painful reminder of their infidelity. Michael, his eyes filled with a mixture of anger and defeat, turned to me, his voice tinged with bitterness. "You think you've won, Emily? This won't change anything. We're done, and you can have this damn house. But remember, I never loved you." A surge of satisfaction coursed through my veins as I met his gaze with unwavering confidence. "Oh, Michael, you may think you're free now, but remember this. Your actions have consequences, and while you may not have loved me, your betrayal has made me stronger than ever." Sarah, her demeanor more subdued, interjected with a voice laced with remorse. "Emily, I'm so sorry for what happened. It was a mistake, and I never meant to hurt you." I chuckled softly, a hint of irony in my voice. "Sarah, sorry doesn't undo the damage that's been done, but perhaps this experience will serve as a lesson for both of you. A lesson in loyalty and the value of the trust you so carelessly discarded." As they loaded their belongings into the car, the weight of their actions settled upon them. It was a burden they would carry long after they drove away from the house that had become a symbol of their betrayal. With a final glance at the retreating figures, I closed the door behind me, stepping into my new home, a sanctuary of healing and renewal. The air felt lighter, as if the house itself had shed the weight of deceit and embraced the promise of a fresh start. As time passed, I immersed myself in the process of making the house my own, a canvas on which I could paint the picture of my new beginning. Each room was infused with love, care, and my unwavering spirit. The echoes of the past gradually faded, replaced by a newfound sense of joy and empowerment. The neighborhood buzzed with whispers of the saga that had unfolded, the tale of a woman scorned who had risen above her pain and exacted her revenge. And while some saw it as a cautionary tale, I saw it as my triumph over adversity, a testament to my resilience and the indomitable spirit that resided within me. In the end, revenge had been served, not in a vindictive manner, but as a means of reclaiming my power and moving forward. The house, once tainted by their actions, had become a symbol of my triumph, a constant reminder that I was no longer a victim, but a survivor,